Hi, today we're going to talk about chakras and what are they? So we'll just get started. The chakras are a system in the body that actually control our health emotionally and physically. And there are many ways to look at it. Traditionally, the most common way to look at it is having 7 chakra bodies or 7 bodies of meridians even that align with us. And if they're out of balance or out of sorts in some way, physical illness or mental illness prevails. So by making sure your chakras are balanced and centered and rotating in the right and are centered in the right energy, then if they're going in the right direction, then you're going to be feeling well. If one of them are blocked or one of them is spun in the wrong direction, it's going to make you feel out of sorts. There's going to be a problem. So what I've asked you to consider, or what I want to talk to you about considering, is do you have any of the following things happening to you? And if so, pipe up and let me know. So the first one would be we're looking at negative expressions of the body. So when we see a negative expression in the body, when it comes out in the body, we know then that there is a problem. So if you're a hoarder, or if you're a have predatorial type behavior, or if you know someone who has that, someone who has mindless violence, someone who has chronic fatigue, constantly tired, someone who has had birth trauma, someone who has had abandonment issues. If that is part of anyone you know or yourself, then what we find here is someone who may have a root chakra problem. Okay? Yes. Okay, well, we'll get to that. So as a first chakra problem, you may have those problems. If that's the case, then there are things that we can do for that, which I'll tell you as we move along. Okay? So that would be considered the first chakra, the root chakra. The second chakra, the sacral chakra. And when we're speaking root, just before I go on, the root is down low, okay? And then the next one is around the belly, okay? So the belly, second chakra or sacral chakra. Can I curse the Prime Minister for you? I'm on it. Anyways, okay, the second chakra is the negative expression would be fear and fighting. So that was a good time to ask that, but you made me laugh. So fear and fighting. So if you know someone who's having trouble, who's fearful or fighting, or even someone who maybe has, sexual issues, maybe there's an addiction, or maybe the frigid type of thing, you may find that the second chakra or the sacral chakra is an issue. We'll talk about how to fix them as we move along. So the third chakra, I'm just going to let the dog out 1 second. Come on, baby. Go on. Okay, so the third chakra is the solar plex, and that's the belly. That's the belly area. A negative expression there would be someone who has gastrointestinal problems, someone who has a bad temper, someone who's anorexic, someone who is full of sorrow, someone who has ego problems, someone who has very low energy and a lot of shame issues, that type of a thing. Okay, hey there, everyone. Hi there. Nice to see you all. You have IBS? Yes. So if ego inflation, that's another part of that area. So solar plexus are usually, those types of negative expressions, they show up in the belly area. Okay. So we'll talk about how to resolve some of those issues as we move along. So if you're one of those people with that, hey, Dorothy, hi, honey. If you're one of those people with that type of a problem, please hold out. You're going to hear about how to solve it. So the fourth chakra is the heart chakra. And the negative expression here is extreme grief and betrayal, any kind of betrayal or selfishness, resentment, loneliness, abandonment, those type of things. Someone who is constantly talking about how great they are. So, sort of a narcissist type of a behavior. So that would be someone who has their heart chakra damaged or hurting something like that. Thank you for the roses. That's nice of you. Yes, thank you very much for taking a moment to send those roses and hearts. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Especially while we're talking about the heart chakra. That's very nice. So that the heart chakra is one that's fairly common. Okay, a lot of people have had some problems along the way. So that's the fourth chakra. The fifth chakra is your throat chakra. And the negative expression would be someone who lies a lot, someone who's also betrays you, betrays others, has been betrayed. Addictions, that's a big one. Addictions, sleep disorders, insomnia, for instance, toxicity, when they're talking a lot and they're very toxic about the way they communicate. Also fear of speaking up. So that would be the fifth chakra. So the sixth chakra, excuse me, the sixth chakra is your third eye. And your third eye is a negative expression would be someone who's delusional, someone who has neurosis, inadequacies, seizures, someone who just can't see the truth right in front of them. Literally someone who is seeing something and is ignoring it. That type of thing. Often we find schizophrenia in this one. Okay. Let's see. Now the seventh chakra. The seventh chakra would be the crown. Okay, that's here. The seventh chakra is a negative expression would be psychosis, regression, and cynicism. Okay. Also someone who maybe pretends to be spiritual but really is not. Yes, please take a moment to follow me. All right. And that would be wonderful if you would. And then you'll see the other classes that I'm doing along the way. Let's see here. Now there are like in some beliefs you're going to find some people who believe that there are many more than 7 chakras. All right. So also, how do I say this? Let's say somebody's filled with disease. Let's say, what's that? Nerf minder. I used to be in Ontario. I'm now in Nanaimo, British Columbia. And I think when we're seeing someone, let's say someone who is dealing with a lot of diseases, a lot of different problems, a lot of different health issues, there could be way more than one chakra that's a problem. And often we find when there's one chakra out, more than one is actually, usually when there's someone with a lot of disease or a lot of illness, we find more than one chakra that's out. And often we find when one chakra is out, the ones around it are also going to be kind of wobbly and misplaced. And that will cause you to be sick in more than one areas, and it'll take time to actually, thank you, and will take time to actually help you heal. So when you're stepping into the healing process of the chakras, here's what you're going to do. So suppose your problem is the root chakra. If you have issues with your root chakra, and if you remember correctly, I did say the root chakra would have hoarding, predatory behavior, mindless violence, someone who's really quick to be irritated, chronic fatigue, super tired all the time, anybody who's had birth trauma and abandonment issues. If that's you, if that's someone you know and someone you love, hey, Indigo, we should probably get to know each other. Wonderful. Message me, or maybe I need to, let me see. I'm going to follow you. Maybe we can talk later. Okay. So I now followed you. Make sure you're following me. All right. So anyways, so someone who is dealing with a root chakra problem. So I brought my charts out. I make my own charts, just so you know. See, these are mine. And because the chakra system is quite extensive, these are 2 separate charts about different things. So what we find in the is that everything matters. We have the chakras themselves, and as I was saying, in some beliefs you're going to find out there's 9 or 12 or 36, 32, I've heard different numbers. And as you become more advanced in the knowing of chakras, you may take those on. For now, we're only going to talk about the 7. Real questions. Hello. What is this? What does that mean, Sandra? Why is it we're stopping the teaching? What is it you'd like to talk about? Okay, I'm going to continue. How's that? Okay, because I really can't read all of your comments while I'm trying to teach you and share with you. Okay, right? Anyways, all right. So there are many things that matter and can help the chakras. Is color. All of them have a different color. So the first chakra is red. Okay, and the red energies or foods that are red are going to be really helpful to help fix that chakra. Plants, herbs that have red flowers, red leaves, red stems, those types of things. Foods that are red, all of these things will be very helpful to you. Okay, so herbs, plants, foods, and rocks, different types of rocks. Yes, they could. They definitely could. They could help. They could cause you to twitch. That could be more of a neurological thing, and then that would come from the brain. So that would mean you have something going on in the crown chakra. Okay, and we can talk about that in a minute if you just hang in there, and we'll get to your subject once we get there. Okay. I can't take questions right now. Please hold your questions until we move along, okay? And then when I ask you if you have a question, you're more than welcome to offer me that question then. I'm going to focus on teaching, okay? All right, so the first chakra, the root chakra, is red. And one of the issues there, or one of the things that we need to heal there, are trust issues, okay? And we can do that. First, we start with the simple things, food, plants, herbs, even wearing the clothes, different rocks or crystals that are red, you might want to use to help yourself. One of the energies there that we work with or that we should be thinking about is, as I already said, fear and pride is part of the problem here. And humility is one of the things that we want to use to overcome the fear and pride issues. Okay? And basic needs will be addressed in this issue or this area. Boundaries should be brought up. Money issues, beliefs of sexuality, beliefs of spirituality, those types of things will be there. A right to be here, entitlement issues, all of those things will be there. One of the things that will show up as well physically will be back pain, lower back pain especially, lack of energy, lack of vitality, aches in the feet, knees, hips, skin, blood circulation, all of those types of things. Okay? So also, when we're looking at the root chakra, we also see the C note musically. If we're listening to music, you want to listen to music that has a lot of C's in it, or you want to put on meditation music that has the C note as its primary energy. Drums, didgeridoos, those types of things. You want to listen, you want to hear that. Thank you. And for stones, you want to pick stones that are garnet, red tiger's eye, dark agates, jaspers, those types of things, okay? Red foods, don't forget meat, anything with blood red, that type of a thing is a good thing. Nuts, root foods, all kinds of root foods, potatoes, yams, beets, beans, those types of things, okay? And as far as your health and body, you want to make sure that your bladder's working right, your hips are working right. And if they are not, then they're pertaining to root issues that you've been carrying for a very long time. And so, as I said to you earlier, humility is a big thing to look at, and how to bring more humility into your life, and trust. Okay? So the next one we're going to talk about, I hope that helps a few people here that we're dealing with those types of issues. So the second one that we're going to talk about is the sacral, and that is orange, right? That is orange. And obviously, if we're going to be dealing with anything to do with the sacral, we're going to be looking at, so first of all, the root chakra is an earth energy. And so the second chakra is a water energy, a moon energy. Okay, so when we're looking at that, we're looking at the D note and we are looking at strings, guitar, harp, that type of thing. So those types of that type of sound or music will be very helpful and healing to you. Um, Now, low crawling plants would be helpful. Plants that have orange flowers, plants that have any orange in them. Even if you're when you see the roots are orange. That'll be important herb or plant to work with. Lang lang is also a good oil. Maybe sandalwood, rose, basil, honeysuckle. Calendula, black-eyed Susies. Think of orange. Okay, those herbs are going to be turmeric. Absolutely, good one, good one. Carnelian is a stone that would be helpful here. Fire opal, ambers, coppers, calcites, those types of things. Moonstones, peachy moonstones, orange tiger's eye, that type of a thing. Those stones are going to be really super helpful there. And don't forget, this is going to help people who are fearful, who are easily argumentative, fighty kind of people who hold their emotions until they explode, people who have sexual problems, people who have fertility problems, that type of a thing. Okay, so you want to eat orange foods, and you want to have a lot of water in your body. Orange foods, so, all kinds of squashes, pumpkins, what else? Different types of tomatoes would be orange. Any food that also has orange in it, or is a combination, like so red and yellow make orange. So red foods and yellow foods would also be helpful here. Peppers that are red and yellow, orange peppers, that type of a thing. You want to eat foods like that. Teas are really good here too, especially teas that have the herbs with the orange teas in it, orange herbs, that type of thing. You want to have teas like that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Um, what was that? I'm sorry, I can't talk about those things right now. Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello. Nice to see you here. Thank you very much for being here. I'm going to keep teaching, though, okay? I'd love to sit here and read all of your comments, but I can't. So just listen up and you'll be able to hear which one matters to you. So we're talking right now about pregnancy even. Yes, fertility, that type of thing. So if you want to get pregnant, you have to make sure your sacral area is healthy, is working well. And this goes for men too, because if men are carrying these problems, it still will affect their ability to produce, okay? So it definitely will show up as signs of trouble of reproduction, small and large intestine issues, colon issues, appendix, uterus, low back again, and sciatica, fallopian tubes, ovaries, spine, anything to do with that means you've got an issue going on here. Okay. The other thing is you may have extreme addictions like sugars and foods, relationships. That's a sign something's going on. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? As in the root chakra, an addiction might be compulsive disorders, alcoholism, sex disorders, that type of thing. So moving on to the other issues that it may bring up. So one of the things that would help here, or you may have an issue with getting your creativity out. If you're having trouble getting your creativity out, then the sacral chakra could be one of your problem areas. Wear orange clothes. I'm serious. Wear orange clothes if you've got a problem with this area. So the clothing, the food, the plants, all of those things are going to matter. Okay. One of the problems here is we may be feeling there's a respect issue. And one of the things that would happen if this area is not balanced, it may be because you have felt disrespected. Okay. It may be because you have shame or anger issues that you haven't dealt with, that you haven't healed yet. Okay. And so that would take some time to work on, right? And the feelings, the things here that we're going to have, it's going to come out with feelings, trust issues as well, intimacy, addictions, boundaries, and the right to feel, the right to be who you are, the right to behave as who you actually are, may be, in fact, oppressed by some people or someone, okay, which might have caused some of these problems along the way. It may show up with menstrual cramps, PMS, muscle spasms, back pain, as I said, digestive issues, bladder issues. So when I tell you what you need to do with that, remember this. You've got to eat orange foods. You've got to have low crawling plants or herbs, that, or herbs with orange and those types of things, and you want to make some teas with that. Don't forget all that. Drink a lot of water too when you're dealing with that one. Okay? So that's the second chakra, down in the womb, down in here where the pelvic area is. Okay? So the third one is the solar plexus. That's up in the tummy area. And in the tummy area, the solar plexus, or the planet that we're working with, is Saturn. And Saturn is an energy of restrictions and limitations and rules and schedules and all of that kind of stuff. So if you're a person who's trouble with that, you'll likely have a problem with this too. The E note is reflective here, and that is found in the horn. Hey, I don't know who's calling me mom, but hey. So the horn is the sounds of horns and pipes and those types of things are going to be really helpful to you. Hey, Shelby, Apple made you change your username? You're kidding. Hi, baby. We're glad to have you here. I'm glad I looked up to see you there. I don't know, Teresa, I don't know who you are. I know who you are, but I don't know who you are. TikTok doesn't make it easy to know who's watching you. Thank you so much for being here, all of you. TikTok dot. Jeez. TikTok dot. It's terrible. Jesus. Anyways, so back to this. Sorry, we're talking about the third chakra, the solar plexus. Okay? That's what we're talking about right now. So if you have problems with gastrointestinal problems, temper, anorexia, sorrow, ego inflation, or you know someone like this, low energy, shame, blame, that type of thing, we're talking about someone who's got solar plex problems. Okay? And please make sure you follow me if you want to, stick it out and see some other classes that I'm doing. So one of the things you want to do here is, if you've got these problems, you want to wear orange clothes, or yellow clothes, excuse me, because that's the color, is yellow. You want to wear yellow, yellow, yellow. You want to eat yellow. You want to drink yellow teas. You want to, anything to do with yellow. Eat the foods that are yellow. So the other thing is carbohydrates are important here, and grains, very important. Okay, so you might want to use the stones of citrine, calcites, tiger's eye, amber, topaz, sunstone, rutilated quartz. That's one of my favorites. Different types of agates, gold stones, petrified wood, anything that's got the yellow in there. Okay. As far as herbs, you're looking at chamomile, lemongrass, goldenrod. Yes, some say, what? Goldenrod? Yes, you can actually drink goldenrod tea. It's really good to use just before allergy season too. Sunflower, evening primrose, mullein, marigold, yellow lavenders, rosemary, bergamot, tangerine, geranium, and dandelion. So this will help the digestive tract. First of all, Triple Goddess, we could talk about that at the end. Would you please hold that thought? That's a really good question. You could actually ask it to me at another time, and I'm happy to go through that with you, because there is a good answer and there's a reason for that. One of them could be that you should be sleeping on the other side, the opposite side. They say you should sleep on the left side of the body, especially if you're having problems on one side, because often there's a blockage. Okay, so there is a problem there. But I'd have to ask you more questions to know more about that. I'm gonna make friends with you. If you're already following me, then I'll be able to answer that question later. Oh, I'm trying to find you, dear. Here you are. Okay, I'm following you now. Oh, what? Oh, it's a private account. We can discuss later, though. I did request that I follow you. Sorry for the jiggles there. All right, I'm going to continue. So digestive tract issues, stomach, upper portion of so up here under your breast, large intestines, liver problems could happen here as well. Spleen, gallbladder, kidneys, pancreas, adrenal glands. A large portion of the lungs could also be affected if there's a problem here. Diaphragm, spine, these types of things. So that's the third chakra. Addictions may be caffeine, breads, need for details. Let's say you're like, I gotta know every little thing. over cleanliness and food and eating disorders are often common when there's a problem in that area. Okay. By the way, whenever we're talking about the root chakra, that's the red one, you can also substitute anything that is black in terms of stones, okay, or even herbs. Anything that has a lot of black in it will also help with the roots. I forgot to mention that. Sorry about that. Excuse me. So as far as that yellow, it is also considered the area of faith. Exactly. It's also considered the area of faith, having faith. So, if you have trouble with your spirituality or if your belief systems, this could also come up and show up as a problem here as well. Hey, Kathy. Oh, you know what, Kathy? I was looking for you. I should have done a reading for you. And so next time on Friday, you're going to be my first. If you're there, I want to make sure I do a reading for you. I meant to do one for you, and somehow I gapped it totally. Okay, so just so you know, I'm there for you Friday, Kathy Garlow, 290, just so you know. Okay, I did recognize your gifts last week. Okay, so we want to be looking at, as far as herbs and different things like that, you want to be working with faith, like I said. Oh, I'm glad that you're here too. Bravery is one of the things that you're going to be, there's going to be an issue with. Either you need to be more brave, or you've been too brave and you've had to come up against something. Hi, Ireland. Guilt and sloth-like energies are also part of the vices that could be here, and the virtue would be bravery, how to get over that. So as I said, this is a place of belief, and what are your beliefs and how to resolve that. So, implementing and sharing your details and your ideas is a good idea. It's going to help you. Being in positions of management, having opportunities to use your willpower and be in control. These things are really important, right? It's the bridge to all the other chakras. So if the solar plex is not in good standing, then it's going to cause some problems with the upper chakras as well. So we really need to make sure this particular one is doing well. Okay, this is one. This one here actually controls how we act, how we behave, how we intellectualize, and where we put our passions. One of the things that we may find here as a problem area, symptom of unbalance, is nervousness as well, weaknesses, arthritis, diabetes, eating disorders, gallbladder, liver dysfunction. These things are in the third chakra as a problem. We notice that. You can also use brown in this area, so brown stones and yellow stones could be very helpful here. Because we would have past issues that are holding on, so we want to be really earthy when we're dealing with this one, because as I was saying, it's a bridge from the lower chakras to the upper chakras, so it's part of the lower system, meaning that it can be, and it does be affected well by browns and that being really earthy, of course, right? Let's see here. So don't forget to eat it, to drink it, to wear it, to smell it. You could even use the sounds, as I was saying to you earlier, about the sounds of horns to help you there, because horns are, or the E note in any kind of meditative music. Okay, so that's the third chakra. I'm going to go to the fourth chakra now. Sorry, I got a little thing up here to keep me focused, because we all have our issues, and I have a little ADHD and I can get sidetracked pretty easy. That's why I'm like, can't look at all of the messages. So thank you for putting up with my unique way of teaching, where I have to stay focused. All right, so now we're going to talk about the fourth chakra, and the fourth chakra is the heart chakra. I find this chakra is the one that's out the most for people, and that's because we often carry our grief with that, right? Thank you very much for saying that, Indigo. We often find the heart chakras out because people, we've had a lot of trauma in life, and few people are there to help us along the way. Betrayals, grief, people dying, people leaving us. And then, we sort of end up alone and isolated. Then we can become selfish and resentful, and and lonely and feeling just abandoned and rejected, right? So when that happens, then we develop issues in our heart. And there are ways, like I said, to heal all of it. So one of the things you want to remember is that this is an energy of Venus, the planet Venus, and also Mars, and that would be the hands. Sometimes we look at the hands and the heart as part of one chakra system. Some people see this one as the eighth one, but I'm going to include it today with the heart. So your hands and your heart. So if there's something wrong with your hands, that's also part of your heart. Okay, so let's look at it that way. So let's say you've got some physical problems with your heart, or physical problems with your lungs, or physical problems with your bronchial tubes. Anything to do with this area of the body, even the upper back in that area, even the shoulders can be part of that. Your arms, your elbows, anything like that. Hands, those are all part of this chakra. Okay, and the color here is usually green, but some people also use pink. And I notice that people like to separate. The pink one could be more feminine and the green one could be more male. Okay, but I don't think we really need to do that. So if this is the planet of Venus, this is also the planet of money, of love, this type of thing, where Mars would be the planet of action and fighting, to be honest. Okay, so the energy here are flutes and wind instruments. And we know that because of it being where the lungs are, where the air is, right? And it's the F note. If you're looking to actually stimulate the heart chakra with music, it's going to be the F note. And the plants that would be helpful here would be mullein, burdock, rose, cedar, sage, apple, sweetgrass, lavender, lilacs, carnations, jasmine, strawberries, pink yarrow, peonies, pink tulip, borage, mints, and catnip. Excuse me. Stones that would be helpful: rose quartz, malachite, kunzite, jade. You get the idea here? Peridot, amazonite, fluorite, calcite, rhodochrosite. You get it. You know what I'm talking about here. Aventurine, chrysoprase, chrysocolla. Okay, phantom quartzes. These types of things are super, super helpful. Also with foods, don't forget to eat green foods. And this is an easy one because lots of green foods that you can eat. Lots and lots and lots and lots. All leafy type of foods. And that would be very helpful to warm the heart, to heal the heart. Okay, and as far as the body, like I said, we already explained to you all the different things that it could cause problems with. Also the diaphragm, lower portions of the windpipe, breasts, that's another one, of course, I missed that one. Ribs, thymus, and addictions here are cigarettes, smoking, nicotine, and marijuana. Yeah, you can actually have an addiction to marijuana. Sorry, just teasing. You can. I've seen it. I don't have one, though, I promise, but I do have a lot of respect for cannabis. It's helped me, actually, because I do carry the problem of arthritis, and I use cannabis oil to help my body. With CBD oils. So, okay, so this area is about love. We know this is all about love, okay? And the color, like I said, is green and pink. So you want to use all the stones and all the foods and all of the herbs and all the different plant energies that are green and pink. And another one that you can add here is gold, the color gold, okay? Because we're talking about the arms and the hands and the feet too, okay? And that would be gold. Okay, fetus also can be included here, but more I'd see the feet in the root chakra area. Okay, so but some people do include it, so I talk about it just so you know. And so the the virtue here is love, and the vice would be grief and envy, sadness, those type of things. And you know, grief can be turned over into envy. When someone's trying to get out of grief, sometimes they end up in envy. So there's a process of going from one side to the other. So this is the place of love. So we're looking for harmony, trust, love, the ability to give and receive love. And so this is a big one right now, especially with the COVID and what's been going on with COVID, because we are not in a position where we can use our hands and our arms and our heart to love and hug. So unfortunately, when that happens to us, we've developed problems in this area, and we really need to work it, especially right now as we're coming out of the COVID days. We've got to get back into practice of loving, of touching, of hugging, and of communicating our love to other people. And remember to be flexible, because right now also there's a lot of people making judgment and choices because we've been divided by our beliefs, and I'm sorry to say, but by our government. I believe we've been divided. We have not. We need to just remember to come from love. Let's just go there and come up with new ideas. Thank you. Come up with new ideas. Um, we need to work on our words. Absolutely right. Communicating is a really, really important factor here, and that's going to come up in the next chakra. So we'll talk about that. So we know that Mr. Prime Minister of Canada has problems with the throat chakra, right? We know that he does because, right, right. I'm with you. We know that he has troubles there. And as a healer, I try to step back and become, empathetic and compassionate towards him as an individual. But I am angry with him right now. I am. But something tells me that he's gone through his own thing that has caused this to happen. But look at the whole world is now out of balance, or the whole of Canada, my whole world, is out of balance because of his issues being out of balance. So this is why it's really important for us to all take a moment and actually do the healing work. So if you've got problems in this area, I'm giving you the basics on how to help yourself. That's what I'm doing. Just the basics, because if you can't resolve these problems, you're going to need a chakra healer like myself or someone else who knows this type of work to tell you more, to show you more. Maybe there's going to have to be doing a laying of the stones. Maybe we're going to need a pendulum to help put the chakra back in the right formation, because our chakras all spin from the bottom up, and they change. So the bottom one will be spinning one way if you're female, another way if you're male, and then the next one's going to spin the opposite way, and so on, all the way up the body. And what we notice is when people are out of balance, they'll have problems there in whatever section of their body. They're going to have problems. Personally, I have to constantly deal with my heart issues because I'm an empath, and what's happening around us has, this whole thing is really, it's affected me in ways that I can't even tell you. So how the symptoms show up in me and in others who have this problem, there'll be colds and coughs and chest and heartburn and skin disorders. Right? Exactly, Triple Goddess. Hives is another one. When you mix love and sex, you may also have issues in the sacral chakra as well. So you may have, like I was saying, if one of them is out, then the ones beside it are. So if I have heart issues, I may also have throat issues, and I may have solar plex issues. I mean, sacral path, sacral. Excuse me, the sacral chakra issues. Okay, right? Exactly, Dorothy. Exactly. So, and then, so what we're going to do here also is, I already said all that. Yes, I did. So just consider what I'm saying on the heart chakra, okay? Because we're having a lot of people with the heart chakra one, and we've got to find a way to fix it. We've got to find a way. And I think that's what's happening with everyone around the world is they know their heart chakra has been, clammed up, is suppressed right now, and they're screaming to come out. I heard a really interesting thing the other day that made me realize what's happening. People are going to these standoffs, or these, what do you want to call them? I don't know what I want to call them. The trucker convoy and all of the people that are standing up for themselves right now, I think the reason they're doing that, and what I've been hearing, is that they have been stifled for so long. Protests, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Annie. I think the bottom line is, what I've heard is that they are feeling alive again. They're feeling full of hope, being able to come out and work together with everyone. And their voices are being heard. Exactly, Kathy. And their hearts are being expressed. And they need this. We need this. We are people who need to be with other people. So now we're going to talk about the throat chakra, because the throat chakra is what's been that's what's happening right now is people are screaming about it. If you ask me, between the throat and the heart chakra, those are the main issues right now with everyone across the world. So we're all coming out with our heart, and then now we're all using our throats, and we are getting it out. We are saying what we have to say, and it may not be right. It may not be exactly how we want it shared, because it's coming out sort of willy-nilly. And what's happening with our prime minister, for instance, I believe that he didn't know how to deal with it. I think his ego was affected, and then it went from there. Now he can't back down. So the fifth chakra, don't forget, is about lies, is about betrayals, is about addiction, psychosis, sleep disorders, toxicity, fear of speaking, or speaking too much. Okay. um, so what we see here is hang on a second, I just want to make sure I don't. Yeah, so in this area, we may see other symptoms such as neck pain, sore throats, ear, gums, bronchial lungs, infections, swollen glands, issues, pain in the arms and hands, because it's close to the heart chakra. We also see that happening there. This area is not being expressed. And so far, we've all been sitting back like good little Canadians, the passive people that we are. We've been sitting back, and we've been allowing our prime minister to direct us, to allow our health people to direct us, to the science to direct us, and we've been doing what we're told. And I guess we've all come to a point now where we're realizing that A and B and 1 and 2 aren't going together, and we've got some inconsistencies, and we're all speaking up now. And I think that our leader has had the stage for so long, he doesn't know how to back down. He doesn't know how to allow other people to speak up. So this is what we're having here. And the issue here, or the center of energy here, is truth. It's all about truth. And that is also one of the virtues, truth. And so the vice is lies and gluttony. That's another thing. Gluttony is obviously eating too much, or being obese. And it's interesting that these two are the most affected at this time in our lives, when COVID is also taking people who are obese before others. And that we can absorb COVID through the mouth and the nose, which is this chakra, is the throat chakra. Very interesting to me, anyways. So this is a place of truth. So what we need to do here is communicate well. We need to use our creativity, or creative speaking, or creative word. So poetry, story writing, these kinds of things will be very helpful. Releasing these thoughts that you have, even if you're just writing down in a journal, is going to be very helpful. It's getting out and speaking to other people, whether it be on Zoom, whether it be on whatever platform you have, sharing. This is why a lot of people are, sort of computer warriors right now, or keyboard warriors, excuse me, as they've been locked without being able to share. So a lot of people are arguing with that right now because they haven't had the opportunity to share. They haven't had an audience, and so now they have one. And then other people are, taking a stand. They're really coming to understand what they think and feel, so they're taking stands. We have a lot of problems with all of that right now. So we do need to communicate. This is the biggest way to heal. This is communicating, creating space, safe space for everyone to share their thoughts. Instead of brainwashing, brainstorming. Really important thing to consider. How do we brainstorm? We listen to one another. We don't try to trump them in the midst of it. You don't create arguments. You listen, and you try to find a common ground in the conversation. So many of us are not. We are instead, we've got to remember to come from love. And if we don't come from love, then we are going to be coming from ego, and we're going to be rude, and we're going to hurt each other. Wrong. We should not be doing that. Okay, so it's really important to listen to one another. Everyone has the right to speak. Everyone has the right to be heard. Everyone has the right to share, and we need to remember that. When you talk too much, you may be avoiding. And when I listen to our prime minister, that man just talks and talks. And if you really listen carefully, he doesn't answer anybody's questions. So he's not listening. He's avoiding. And that's because he's lying. Okay? Okay, so don't forget to eat blue things, to have blue stones around you. And what do I mean by blue things? Raw foods are really important. Blue fruits like blueberries, um, eggplant is another good one. Foods that are crunchy are loud when you eat them. Um, Foods that are noisy, any kind of noisy foods. So if the animal itself is noisy, like a rooster, that would be a food you could eat here. So chicken, right? Any kind of, like any animal that's really loud. Goats could be another one. Okay. So the health of your mouth, of your throat, of your lungs, of your windpipe, your voice box, your thyroid, your and your adenoids, excuse me, your mouth, your teeth, these things, lips, neck, nerves, and nervous system. Someone asked earlier about the nervous system or tingling, or I forget what it was that someone asked. This is where you're going to look for what might be wrong in the throat chakra. I mean, the throat chakra, excuse me. So if you can't wait quietly and you're a person who has to jump in and interrupt all the time, then you're going to want to look at your throat chakra, okay? If you're a compulsive liar, if you're a smoker, these types of things are leading to problem areas in this area. So the kind of flowers that you might want to have around you or things that you make tea with would be chicory, sage, eucalyptus, vervain, catnip, mint, forget-me-nots. And stones that you would want to use is turquoise, blue lace agates, blue calcites, larimar, topaz, celestite, chalcedony, aquamarine. Get the idea? Chrysocolla, fluorite, sapphire. You get it. You know what I mean. Okay, so that's how you're going to manage the throat chakra. So now we're looking at the third eye up here. This is the place that everybody's walking around doing this, which is why as a psychic I have a good job and I have lots of customers. People are afraid to see. If I had to say honestly, every single person in the whole world has the ability to use their psychic powers, but they don't. And that's because unfortunately we've been kind of told that we can't or we shouldn't, and it's ridiculous. I mean, our religious people actually push that we should not use our third eye. The reason for that is because they wanted us to go to them directly. Well, you don't need to. You all have the ability to be psychic. Every person everywhere has the ability to be psychic. We are humans. This is part of our being, to have good intuition, to have psychic ability, to have instincts. These are all part of being a human being. Okay? Unfortunately, because we've been taught not to use it, many of us are afraid to use it. So this is why I teach psychic development. This is why I teach tarot. This is why I teach these things that I'm teaching, to help people become the best part of them, to do better, to be better, to be stronger. Yes, you're a good guesser. I bet you are. What was that? Shite my pants. I love it. That is a good name. Do you have some root chakra issues? You're so cute. That's a good one. Sorry, I had to have a laugh at your name. That was good. Right? Funny name. Okay, so the sixth chakra is the third eye. Okay, the third eye. It's how we use that third eye that's important. And this is I forgot to say. Sorry, I forgot. Of course, I'm going to forget something when I do this. All right. So the throat chakra, the planet that's affected there is Mercury. Of course, it's Mercury. I mean, Mercury, that planet that likes to get in our way every freaking 3 months. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Mercury. It's all about communication. Okay, sorry, back to the sixth chakra. So if you've got a negative expression of being delusionary or having lots of neurosis or feeling inadequacy or having seizures, and maybe you have addictions like a clothing addiction, a purchasing clothing or accessories, or someone who's a know-it-all. Now, I'm not just talking about you. It could be someone you know, someone you love. Then you'll understand what's going on with them. Okay, so look at it with an open mind here. Maybe it's a victim mentality, someone who's quick to anger, someone who doesn't pay attention, someone who doesn't see what's right in front of them. or someone who's, like I said, totally delusional, sees all kinds of things. Often we find that schizophrenic energy can be found here as well. Okay, bipolar could also be here too. In fact, I used to say that if I was ever able to go into a mental institution, I'm pretty sure I could get about 30% of them out simply by showing the powers that be that these people are having psychic sight issues, not actually schizophrenia. So anyways, this is the planet Neptune and Jupiter. So with Neptune and Jupiter, these are really out there planets. These are philosophical planets. These are spiritual planets. Yes, and yes, they are good seers. Exactly. So oops, yep. And you know what? I noticed. Isn't that funny? I always forget something, eh? With the throat chakra, going back to the throat chakra because I forgot something else. It is the G note. G note, and vocals, of course. So singing would be a really good, helpful thing to do. That's too bad, Indigo. We'll talk more later. Back to this. So the third eye is the A note. The A note. Okay. And this is an energy of clarity. Well, obviously it's a sight. So it is the center energy is clarity, and the virtue is honesty. And of course, the vice there would be dishonesty and greed. Okay. So the place of service, or the energy of service, of the energy here, is of service, of doing for others, of giving to others, of helping others. Okay. So it is visualizing. Sorry, I got someone who wants to go live, and I don't want to go live with them right now. So it is visualizing. Clairvoyance is one of the areas here. Psychic awareness, where we heal our addictions, is this area where we make our choices for good, or for good for everyone. And the right to see and the right to hear truth. So if we are in a place of sharing our truth, we're going to feel better here. Okay. If we're in a place where we could share our ideas with other people, we're going to feel better here. Symptoms of being out of balance would also be misconduct of some sort, presentation issues, imagery, fantasies, place of confusion, or being forgetful. So in the case of dementia or Alzheimer's, headaches, vertigo, sinus conditions, pain, nose, ear, eye problems. Actually, I am part Scottish. I found that out just recently. Interesting that you asked, but I am native. I'm part native, part Italian, and I found out just a few days ago that I'm also part Scottish and Irish, and I never knew that. Isn't that cool? We are a Heinz 57, we in this family. Okay, so where was I? Sorry. So in this area, you want to eat dark blue foods, fish, seafoods, are also areas, foods that you can eat here. Okay. So this area is obviously about the psychic energy, the ESP, or spiritual power. It is about our strength, our conviction. It is about healing. It is about visionary thoughts, thinking place of the counselor, and the concepts of problem solving and conflict resolution, critical thinking. This is a very important aspect of ourselves. And the color here is dark blue, where the throat was light blue. Okay. So as I said, it's an A note, and you want to be, so some of the herbs that you could use here would be, Heinz 57, that'd be me. Crocus, borage, valerian, bugloss, tobacco, lobelia, skullcap, blue balls, heal-all, lavender, morning glory, blueberries, grapes, indigo bush, toadflax, and so on. Okay, blue flax, iris. Some of the stones that you might want to work with are hawk's eye, or blue tiger's eye, abalone shell, lapis, sodalite, indigo, sapphires, demultimore, fluorites, kyanite, azurite, aqua aura. In fact, I'm wearing my aqua auras tonight. Blue jaspers, blue aventurines, and labradorite, one of my favorite stones. The foods you want to eat would be purple and very dark blue, and things with chlorophyll in it, things with a lot of air like celery is another good food here, and eggplants. So the blue energies, light blue and dark blue, use a similar plant. Okay, similar foods, similar plants. So here we're going to be working on the ears, eyes, nose. I said all of that already. That's when I said the wrong word. I said androids, not adenoids. Okay, so that's what you do with that. Okay. Oh, by the way, you know another addiction here is kind of an interesting one, is wearing makeup. Some people who won't go out of the house unless they wear makeup. Okay, so here's the last one. The seventh chakra is the crown. Okay, and this one here we find it is the planets that are associated here are Uranus and Pluto, and the B note, and also the energy of silence or oneness or bells and cymbals. Those can all be part of that chakra. So the colors are purple or indigo magentas can be also used here. And the herbs that we would be looking at would be lilacs, lavenders, savories and sages, valerians, some lobelias and skullcaps, ground ivy if it climbs high, some forget-me-nots, Virginia blueballs, passion flowers, New York asters, four-leaf clovers, Indian's pipe, fiddleheads, thistles, these types of things, okay? And also, we haven't gotten into this, but there's a lot of other foods that are associated to the body. If you're following me on Instagram, I'm going to be posting one of those little memes that I found that's really good about different types of food and how they relate to different parts of the body. I'll be posting that. Where will I post that? Probably on my Earth and Sky Connection Instagram, if you're following me there. So some of the stones that you want to use here are amethyst and chalcedony, alexandrite, charoite, sugilite, lepidolite, these types of purpley colored stones, okay? And violet foods, things that are violet, transformed foods, hybrid foods, fruits that are this color, foods that are tall or grow tall. Even corn, even though it's yellow and we eat corn in the yellow section, you can also eat it here, or even use the silk on the top of the corn for healing work. Fasting is a good idea when there's a problem in this area, and drinking broths and lots of water, honey, maple syrup, anything that comes from a tree that has to be brought down. Earth and Sky Connection is my stores. I have a metaphysical stores, and Earth and Sky Connection is my Instagram. Also, I have an Earth and Sky Inc. on TikTok, where I show you all the products that I sell. Cornsuckle is good for kidneys, exactly. Okay, so coconut, sunflower seeds, bananas. This is another good one. So we're talking about foods that grow tall or in way up high. Often we find trees with nuts are really good for this area too. Even the walnut itself is really good for the brain. If you look at it, it even looks like a brain. Okay. This is the area of health would be the skull or the crown. Headaches. Yes, I do readings, dear, on Fridays. Meet me here Friday. Or you can book a reading with me if you go to my TikTok bio page there. Cerebral fluid is also an issue or a concern. The pineal gland or the message center. And what we find is that addictions here is someone who is overly analytical, always analyzing, overly analyzing, someone who's looking for answers. Okay. Also, we find at this chakra, we can also use other stones that maybe are like crystals, quartz crystals, that type of a thing. What else is good there? Let's see. White topaz and Herkimer diamonds, that's another good one. Milky quartz, snowy quartz, howlites, white moonstones, mother of pearl. So the other thing we're going to, find when there's problem area here is psychosis or regression, when someone retracts or retreats. Cynicism, someone who doesn't believe in themselves or believe in others. So we see all of that stuff happening in this place. And this is the area of the seventh chakra. It will affect your inspiration or your lack of inspiration. If it's in good working order, you're going to be very easily inspirational or inspired. And this area here is also about wisdom, and may also affect your ability. If in the virtue, it's a wisdom. In the vice, it's an illusion. Okay, and it's a place of oneness. It is a place where you're going to feel peaceful and spiritual love. Part of the nervous system as well. Ways of thinking, or where we finally see our mirrors, seeing ourselves in others, where we allow ourselves through compassion, harmonious, non-reactive energy, non-attacking, and the right to know. These areas are the things that we need. And if we don't have, those become issues. So the symptom out of balance in this area also could be self-deception, eye problems, disorders like that, problems with nervousness, insomnia, muscle pain, loneliness, paralysis. All of these things are part of this. I did forget another thing, I'm sorry to say. In the third eye area, I forgot to tell you that the virtue there is honesty, and the vice would be dishonesty and greed. So it is hard to do a class in 1 hour, because that's what I attempted to do, and I did. Hooray! That was as quick as I could possibly get it out. I usually teach these things over weekends and show you how to heal them. And I have a question here that is an interesting question. But how do we release our chakra, our powers? Thank you, Indigo. How do you release your chakra, our powers? I'm not really understanding that question, Grant. You're welcome. You're welcome. Please make sure you're following me for next time. I teach on Mondays. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, Grant, guess what? If you want to go to my Earth and Sky Connection YouTube channel, I've actually live streamed it, so I will have it for anyone to watch later. You're welcome. Don't feel bad, Grant. Please don't feel bad. No, you're welcome here. And although you're late, it's not a big deal. How do we get a connection with our spiritual self? Well, it sounds like maybe you have something going on with your chakra in the the third eye, the sixth chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. So between those two, what we're dealing with there is Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. Those are really out there planets, and that makes it likely what's probably happened to you is you've got yourself stuck in the mud, so to speak. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. And please, on your way out, if you wouldn't mind, just tapping that screen as many times as you can. See how I made it jiggle? You just keep tapping it. I do sessions. Yes, I do. Yes. Since we live in the same area, you and I will get connected. Sounds good to me. What's your first name, Indigo? So I guess, Grant, meditate is a good answer. That is a really good answer. It's a good answer. Like I was saying to you, in that area, it is a B note. So you want to be, thank you, Kathy. Oh, you're so kind to say that. Actually, I will be doing a meditation for everyone, not this week, and not this week coming. This week coming, I'm going to show you how to make witch bottles. But the week after that, I was thinking about doing a meditation for the Fool's Journey, which my tarot class starts up on the 22nd. And I was thinking about teaching people how to actually do a Kabbalah meditation. So if you want to hang around, that might help you, Grant. That might help you a lot. Right. Mental health and anxiety, yeah. Personal disorders. Next Monday. All Mondays I do my workshops here. Hi, Deanna. What a nice name. What a nice name. Right? We're going to have some fun. Life is difficult for a lot of people. Grant, I'm sorry that you're experiencing such difficulty. I just want to give you a big hug, make you feel like somebody loves you. But it's family day, as you all know, and I had to actually stop my family dinner to come out and do this teaching because I said I would do it, and I'm here. Thank you very much, Deanna. I look forward to, you can find me on Facebook too, Tamare is Tamare. You can see the spelling of my name up there. You can find me on Facebook if you want to friend me, and then we'll always be connected. And if you want to do a reading or something at a later date, I'm your girl. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for saying that, Grant. Appreciate that. Don't forget to look on Earth and Sky Connection YouTube. That's where you're going to find this workshop because I did live stream it and I'll have it up probably in the next few hours. So you'll be able to see it by tomorrow. You guys take good care. Take good care, everyone. I'm going to let you all go, and I'm going to go hang out with my family for a little while. And on the way out, please tap that screen a whole bunch of times. Send some love to me. If you want to also send a little gift on the bottom, that would be really helpful. It'd be really nice of you to do that because I am, not this week, but next week, I'm going to choose someone to give a free workshop to. And how I'm doing that is whoever gave me the most gifts on TikTok, the most points or the most credits or the most little thingies will actually, thank you, Puffin. Thank you. I'm going to add up everybody's, I've been taking pictures, screenshots of everyone who's been sending me gifts. So at the end of this term, I'll figure out who it is. And that's the person who's going to win a free workshop with me. You take good care, everyone. And I'll just let you send some good love my way first. And all those hearts, everybody else in the room, feel them. Feel the love. Feel the love. You sent me a wishing bottle? That was a smart idea. Deanna, yes, it was. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Thank you, Shite My Pants. I love the name. Too funny. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. See you next time, eh? Take good care. Bye now.